So ordered. Senator Loomis, you are recognized.
Well, thank you, Chairman Markey. And I'd sure like to see us focus on what can improve our air quality and improve the global climate rather than picking winners and losers among the fuel sources, because we don't have to pick winners and losers. And our guest from Wyoming, thank you so much for being here. We're already a leader in Wyoming on innovation when it comes to carbon capture, utilization, and storage. So, Commissioner Bell, can you talk about the great work that's happening in Wyoming at the Integrated Testing Center in Gillette?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Loomis, thanks for the question. So the Integrated Test Center was host to the X Prize that actually just wrapped up, and a team from UCLA injected flue gas, CO2 from flue gas from the Dry Fork power plant into concrete blocks that actually made those blocks stronger, more affordable. On that same site, we have the Carbon Safe project that is a University of Wyoming partnered with Basin Electric and others to look at injecting 50 years worth of CO2 from a power plant into the ground, and not only into the ground, but then looking at utilizing that in tertiary oil recovery. So it would be really nice to use some of our technologies to have a overall American CO2 strategy using really all of the above, like we are in Wyoming. So thank you for the question.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing in Campbell County, because you're making the point that we don't have to eliminate fossil fuels in order to have address climate issues and have clean air. What we need to do is innovate our way out of this, and Campbell County's leading the way to innovating in order to keep fossil fuels in the fuel mix in the cleanest way that they can possibly be produced. So kudos to Campbell County on that point. I'm really surprised at some of my Senate colleagues who want to have taxpayer spending on intermittent green technology while completely dismissing nuclear power. So this question is for Commissioner Bell and Mr. Isaac. What role should nuclear play in our energy mix going forward?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Lummis, I can go quickly and then turn it over to Mr. Isaac. But really what we need is an all of the above energy approach. And I don't think anybody's going to be against green energy, but we need something that's going to be reliable. Nuclear is reliable, needs to be included. The same with fossil fuel energy. It needs to be included because it's reliable. I'll turn it over then to Mr. Isaac. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Senator Loomis, for the question. When you look at nuclear growth of reliable electricity should model GDP or our population, and we haven't seen that in years. It is a great base load. It's not dispatchable, but it does provide a great base load for our grid. We should be absolutely advocating for more nuclear. It is reliable, as I said, but then we need those dispatchable forms, kinds that can be ramped up and ramped down, natural gas, coal technology. You look at the mix, I believe, in Wyoming, where I think there's some of the most beautiful environment in the world, and I believe 86% of their electric generation mix is from coal. And then you look at the benefits from coal ash. We talked about CO2 being used to strengthen concrete. That's actually a mix of coal ash mixed in with concrete that makes it stronger. And now they're finding concentrations of rare earth elements, 100 times that found naturally, 100 times the level of concentrations in coal ash. And that's stuff that's produced here in the United States. It's going into electronics. So there's some great opportunities looking forward to our energy here in the United States if we don't demonize some forms over others.
And with regard, thank you both. And with regard to the demonization, again, Commissioner Bell and Mr. Isaac, what would you say to people who have completely dismissed the notion of a clean energy coming from fossil fuels?
I look at our record over the last 50 years, we've reduced harmful pollution 77% while we're increasing our GDP, increasing our energy using, increasing our miles traveled, increasing our population. Every economic measure shows that economic prosperity and environmental leadership go hand in hand.
Commissioner Bell?
Yeah, Senator Lummis, thank you. So every morning I wake up and most of the time, if it's not raining, I can see the Bighorn Mountains 50 miles away.
Yep.
And so, it really is producing 80, like Mr. Isaacs said, 86% of our electricity is coming from coal. And we have the most beautiful landscapes in all of the world, in my opinion. And Wyoming is truly an amazing place. And I would welcome anybody to come out and see our place. Nobody cares about our area more than we do. Thank you.
Well, thank you both so much. And if I would just have one more comment, if we spent as much money on climate change in India as we spend in the United States, we could make so much more progress on climate change because they need the help more than we do. The money we spend here makes incremental changes at this point. If we would spend that money in India, the whole globe would have much cleaner air and less carbon. Mr. Chairman, thank you. I yield back.